Okay, I was making a video about different diagnosis, different self-observative aspect in BPD, So it's just abruptly stopped, but anyway. I was saying that classic BPD, in my opinion, they're lacking that insight. They're lacking that voice that's telling them what's real and what's not. So I'm a covert BPD, and I had this voice the whole time. That's the only voice. That's the voice of rationalizing. That's the voice of just talking to yourself and with the inner dialogue. But classic BPD, they have external control. They are externally controlled, so they lacking that aspect for real. They are lacking that aspect. And even if you're differentiate between women and men, I'm gonna say that woman is lacking that more, because woman 2 of 3 cases of BPD in woman, classic BPD, if we're talking about, it doesn't matter if it's histrionic more or just more suicidal. The fact is they are lacking that insight. They are lacking that voice, and they cannot really believe what you say, no matter who you are, your therapist or your best friend, or best friend. They are lacking that. They cannot differentiate between reality and external and their dreams and what's inside of them. They are super primitive human beings. They are lacking that. My mom is like that. I observe her, and they are just lacking that. Sense of being. Sense of being as somebody. I have friends like this, but they are men. And what's differentiate men with and women is that men have more shame. A classic BPD man, the classic BPD man have more shame and more guilt and more depression. I mean, women too as well, but they have more grandiosity. So meaning maybe there's a lot of different traits that BPD, every other person with BPD is different. I understand that, but they have something in common, is that classic BPD, they are lacking that. They are lacking that. What I'm saying? They're not sure if it's real or not. They are not sure. So they really resemble a narcissist. They really resemble a narcissist in their speech, and they really with their coping strategies and with their projection and etc. Dichotomous, or how to say, so black and white thinking. This really resembles a narc a lot. You know what I'm saying? But when we talk about behavior, they are really random. But I'm gonna say they are more psychopathic, and that's my case. I feel like BPD, and I was learning from Sam Vaknin, and I'm really sure I'm sure day by day that this is, so that's really a form of psychopathy, but the light version, more emotional version. It's called psychopathic 2, factor 2 for a reason. It's a defense mechanism, and I'm saying is that they still lacking that. They still kind of resembles a narc. The classic BPD resembles a narc a lot. They're just delusional, and I don't know what kind of insight the life has to provide to them for them to be, self-aware of what they're doing, because they are not teaching, the life not teaching them any lessons. They take everything for granted, and it's just like they are so much in this defense mechanism. They are just really in amnesia so much. They cannot differentiate. Their memory is abrupt, and their memory is stuck. It's stuck, and with the same, they cannot get knowledge in their fucking fucked up mind. That's what differentiate covert, borderline, and classic BPD. Like I said, these human beings, the classic BPD, these human beings, they're lacking that sense of self so much. They don't know how to be, and they can't pretend too. So even if they pretend, it's kind of fake and it's not natural. Their fashion style, their art, and some creativity is fake. It's super fake. It's super pushed. And it's super it's unnatural, what I'm saying? But they are kind of like interested in these topics, They are like, they really can fit in. They fit in that category, but it's still something off with them. I feel like it's more this. My opinion is that this is because of a depressed state. I feel like they are good at pretending. What I'm saying? When they want something from you, or they want to control you, they're good at it. But their creativity, let's say creativity, for example. Let's say creativity. Their creativity is kind of rigged, and it's kind of like fake, and it's just like, feel like they are just forcing it. What I'm saying? They're forcing it because they depressed. I feel like they depressed a lot. That's why they can't really experience joy when, what I'm saying, eating something it's different scenarios, but in my situation, my people in my circle that I had contact with for a long time, I observed these people. Right now, remember, they haven't that difficulty experience joy. They are like, they are just like living by death so much and depression. If you are just religious, you can say they are evil a lot. They are just evil, and they are just like in the same category of narcissists and even psychopath is kind of having joy while doing the weird, saying manipulation and shit like that. But they are not. The classic BPD, they are depressed and they are so delusional and so ego dystonic that they are just doing it because they have to do it. I feel like they have to do it to keep on living this miserable life. And I feel like the major factor in treating this condition has to be uh, against depression and against self-mutilation a lot. I feel like there's no sense of doing the behavior therapy, trying to fix their behavior, because it's just pointless. They are just depressed inside. They're just like, their ego is so down and it's so not real and delusional. It's not even fake. Like, the narcissists have grandiosity. They fully believe in it, but they're not. Their grandiosity is just like a defense mechanism. Is different. That's what differentiates covert borderline and classic borderline. Because covert borderline is just like that type of borderline that feel good when doing all this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it because I have it. He feels actually good while doing all that tactics and shit like that. But the BPD, not. BPD is just like always portraying that good person, like a smiley person with joy, but not. It's a delusion. It's like, it's a mistake to think this way, And this kind of people, this kind of girls that are, live like prostitutes and whores. It's not really their choice. It's just like they do it out of depression maybe, or out of just, they scripted this way. They kind of scripted this way. I feel like they kind of scripted, and they kind of feel like more robotic than covert borderline, because covert borderline is just like more goal oriented than them. More I'm gonna say that the biggest difference between covert and classic is that classic BPD have bad object, and covert borderline have good object and bad object. So he's like dead, only half dead, half alive, but they are just fully dead. But I'm not saying fully dead, because the fully dead is narcissist, of course. But they're just like emotionally dead. They're just like so much emotionally dead. They feel good when somebody providing them emotions, and they could be living out depression. It's just they gotta believe in it, and they gotta just like kind of just like have that reminder of somebody who's like living like them. Like, it's just weird to think about, but that's kind of the same thing. So if you put classic borderline with narcissists, they are gonna self-mutilate and fucking self-destruct together, because they want it. You know what I'm saying? But the classic BPD not really want it. It's just he just lives, or she just lives by example. But the covert borderline is more just like oriented individually on their own goals, on their own. So they have their own fucked up mind as well, but its own kind of thing. So they're not really externally regulated like that. They behavior externally regulated, but not like inner world. Inner world is just like more. That's why in my case I have self-awareness, because I understand that my inner world, I can control it, because I was living my whole life like this. I can control it. I'm the only one who controlling my self states. But turn out classic BPD is not. I mean, I'm not fully controlling it. I'm not controlling behavior, and I'm not controlling like introjects, And introjects is a major problem. It's always in the background, and you're always just like hearing noises and hearing other voices and hearing all that negativity in your brain. But for me, it's easier to attack it, and because I'm rationalizing and just like logically thinking that I can just like get away from these thoughts. Classic BPD is not. She just like making sure everyone around them experience what she feels. And that is weird. That is really psychopathic, bro. I don't know what you're going to say. That is psychopathic. And I feel like classic BPD in woman is a psychopathy. There's nothing more as just manipulation, and everyone needs to save them. That's a psychopathy, bro. They are absolutely lacking that awareness. They want the work to be done by somebody else. They not, even if they attend therapy, it's so it's so hard to understand that they lacking that um awareness so much. They not really know what they doing, and if they do it, they're not believing what they do it. You know what I'm trying to say? So they feel like everyone is just delusional and just, you know what I'm saying, creating these stories about them. So that's weird, that's kind of weird. So in these terms, these individuals are super depressed, super lacking self-awareness, and super having problem with trust. A lot of problem with trust. They are not trusting people and having problem with being close with people. So that making them a psychopath, but kind of depressed psychopath. So I don't know. So really, it's so much worse in women, bro, because that's like a worse, they're just like feel, what I can, from my observation, they just like feel, they feel nothing, they feel like defeated all the time, and they feel like the life is controlling them. That's how it's sad, bro. That's super sad. But in men, situation is the same, but men have more strength to manipulate people. That's why a lot of people with classic BPD in men having covert borderline traits, but they are not covert borderline. It's different diagnosis, bro. And I'm trying to explain this to therapists. They can't understand it, bro. In these terms, you can also say it's all cluster B, and it's all kind of like in the same soup and shit like that. But it's really a different kind of states, or maybe upbringing is different. I feel like upbringing has to be different, because classic BPD, where I observe, people have bad upbringing. People had really like depressive upbringing, like, what I'm saying, they were poor, and they were with the traumas, and that's how I feel it. And because in my case, it's not really that much traumas, and I was living a quality life, about even better than right now. And I feel like in my case it's different, but that's why I convert borderline, not the classic one. The classic one is lacking that joy so much, bro. Like, I don't know why they're lacking it. Maybe that's like an anxiety disorder or something else, or depressive disorder. But they're lacking it. I've never seen a borderline that is actually enjoys life. It's all fake. If you see it's all fake. If the more a person with borderline, especially a woman, is happier, the more dangerous she are. That's facts. That's facts, and not in men. If you see a lot of Dagestani people and a lot of Armenian people, the classic borderlines and covert borderlines, they can experience joy and happiness, and they're less dangerous. The more person is just like, in men is different. The more person is depressed, and you can see it in his facial expression, the more he dangerous. The more he dangerous, bro. So I don't know if it's true or not. That's my observation. But in women, it's kind of vice versa. The more depressed woman could be a really good partner, like, because she could be more open with you if she had borderline. If she has borderline, but more happy, more fucking, more like, it's not called covert. It's called the more kind of snaky she is. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion. So that's why a lot of depressed borderlines, especially who self-mutilate, they're with narcissists. They're the same. They're kind of the same. They're emotionally dead. And the narcissist is he's just dead. He's just dead. He's just dead, point blank, That's why, but narcissists have that grandiosity, like I said. And that grandiosity, they feel good. They feel good because of narcissistic supply. Borderline not. Borderline not doesn't feel good, bro, all the time, bro. Like, I see my mom, and I feel like she's not happy with what she is. Not with the life she has, but what she is. And that is super depressing to see, because you are living and enjoying and trying, and she's not. Not because she's not interested, because it doesn't bring any joy to her. And I feel like with age, she got more stable and more like acceptive, and more like just like grounded, but still have that, the eyes are so empty and sad, it's just like sad to even see. So that's why I'm saying is, I have that, I'm covert borderline, and I haven't mood swings a lot. I having that, and I'm still having that, I'm still like craving love, and I'm still craving, but not joy though. I'm craving love, and the joy comes from a lot of activities that I create. And in these terms, I'm a just functional human being. I'm always been like this, but it's just like these moments where it's just like so empty, and so you lacking that maybe plan, or maybe like a no like a dream or a goal or meaning in life. And you feel like, bro, like I'm doing the same thing all over again. Like every year, and I'm more rageful. I'm more fucking aggressive, and I can't get money, and I haven't this, mood swings where like I'm just sitting home, yeah, and I'm having that mood swings, and I cannot stand not doing nothing, so that's eating me inside. So really, I feel like I'm more functional when I'm doing something. I feel like more functional when I'm, of course, when I'm with somebody because I'm BPD, but still kind of have that inner dialogue with me, and inner I'm not fully externally regulated. I'm inner I have inside regulation. So that's me. I want to go to sleep, bro.